So, like, okay. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, and welcome back. Next up we'll have Kitsune Tales. Um, and the
Is
winner of
there
this
a problem? Sorry.
bit war is Yuzu. Um, Looking forward to seeing that. And will be run by lovely Debeaunair. So whenever you're ready, Debeaunair, take it away.
Hello, everybody. My name is Debeaunair VT, but you can call me Bo, and today we're playing Kitsune Tales, and it's going to be the first ever marathon appearance of Yuzu%. I'm extremely excited to show you all what Purple Fox can do. With me on the couch today, I have, as always, the lovely Rally. Rally, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited to see what this Purple Fox is all about. This is new territory for us.
Heck yeah. So we're going to be doing a lot of the same stuff that we normally do to set up a Curie% run. We're going to be setting all of our magic postcard numbers to 1 because this will help us get some much needed items later in the run. Via mini games on the overworld. A couple of other differences. Yuzu does not have a sword, so those of you that have seen any of my previous Curie% Kitsune Tales runs will kind of know that this is a very fast, very tricky kind of movement system. Yuzu is far, far, far closer to a traditional Mario style game. So you will instead be seeing a variety of cool costumes, and I think we use just about all of them in the run. Well, we can use all of them in the run. We don't use the Ice World one very much at all. But anyhow, I think that's basically it. So we're ready to get going here in 3, 2, 1, go. So we're jumping right into Yuzu% here. The very first thing that you may remember from Curie% is that we change characters right away, but we're not going to be doing that here. As you can see, Yuzu's commands are very simple. We can simply run, jump, crouch, everything that you would expect to be able to do in a side-scroller Mario-style game. However, we do not have a sword. Which means that a lot of the jumps and angles and things that we need to take to get through some of the later stages are going to be different because we can't really rely on learning any extra new abilities in the middle of the game. So in the first couple of levels here, we're going to be skipping a lot of story, which is very good. You should play this game and watch it. And also we're going to be doing a lot of slope jumping. Rally, if you want to explain what slope jumps are to our lovely viewers, that would be great.
I'd love to. The way slope jumping works, and this is something that we take advantage of in the Curie run as well, but Yuzu will, I believe, to be taking much more of an advantage of it, is when we crouch on a hill, like in similar to Mario 3, when you crouch on a hill, you begin sliding and accelerating. But if you jump and you keep jumping, as long as you're in the air, you can retain the momentum you have from accelerating down a hill. And that lets us, naturally you move really fast, and we want to move really fast as long as possible. But what we're going to have to do is time jumps to be able to hit our arcs across pits, because, we can pick when we start, and we can kind of let go of the jump to pick where we land, depending on, the velocity we hit, There's a bit of precision in landing your jump arcs, but the slope jumps will give us lots of boosts of momentum to get us through the level a lot quicker. It's similar to if you're familiar with either Team Fortress or Quake rocket jumping. It's as long as you don't hold the forward button, you'll retain that momentum. But if you hold forward, you'll lose the momentum.
So one of the other things that separates Yuzu and Curie as characters is you'll notice that I'm taking a lot of extra damage, and you're not seeing as many bad clouds, which we'll explain in a moment here. That as an example of a bad cloud. Yuzu has 2 health basically at all times. She always starts as a person, and then when she takes damage for the first time, excuse me, you need to be up here with me. When she takes damage for the first time, she turns into a tiny little fox like this. Can you? She's She's feisty today.
She's got butterfingers.
She does, yeah. So what we're aiming to do in stages like this, where there's a lot of vertical space, is we're going to be trying to use death clouds. The difficulty that we play on when you die, rather than starting the stage over or starting the screen over, instead it kind of just puts you right back where you were, but on a Lucky 2 cloud for a limited amount of time. This lets us, it grants us eight-way movement, and we can fly. So it's extremely helpful for getting through various stages and screens like that one we just saw. In the Kiri route, it's way easier to route in these clouds for the specific reason that Kiri only has 1 HP. Because Yuzu has 2 HP, we basically need to kind of stand around a little bit sometimes to make sure that we can actually get on our cloud to fly north. So there's going to be a decent bit of intentional damage that we take throughout this run, with the goal being it sets us up for a... I really missed just the middle one. It sets us up for being able to take a good cloud when we need it. Because Yuzu doesn't have any combat abilities without costumes, when we do get costumes, we're going to need to be very careful to hold on to them, aside from specific situations where they're not really important. And to that end, one thing that we have already done is taken a minor detour at the end of 1-2. And the reason for this is there is a boss that Yuzu has to fight at the end of World 1 that Kiri does not have to fight. Because of this boss, if you get a perfect fight on it, you save a couple seconds over picking up the item that we did. But if you pick up the item that we did, as long as you can poke the enemy one time, the enemy dies. So it's a pretty cool little shortcut that we're excited to show off. Very, very safe for marathon performances like this. And this 1-4, the stage that we're in right now, is one of the coolest levels with slope jumping in it. That room is one of my favorite things to execute in the whole game. It's very neat.
That was a great line, by the way.
Thank you. I'm hoping that we can get the one on this screen as well. But you'll see, there we took damage to become little so that we could hug that beetle specifically and then hop up here. And the reason that we do all that, just missed it, is that we need to have maximum speed to get the slope jump on these platforms. It's very finicky. It requires really precise jumps and placement and things. So it's a little bit of a bummer that we didn't get it there, but you will see that we went so much farther than we would have had we just been running, and that is the other huge benefit of slope jumping. Regardless of whether the trick gets fully completed, even if you only make it a little bit of the way, you're still going way faster than you otherwise would. So it helps us get through quite a lot of space in a very small amount of time.
It does also make the speedrun pretty accessible if you ever kind of see what Debeaunair is doing, and you're like, hey, I want to give that a try. It looks like fun. The speedrun for this category is extremely accessible to pick up because you can try all of the tricks. Like, you can go for all of the big tricks, and you either hit 40% of the trick or 70% of the trick, and you're always saving a little bit of time. And then from attempt to attempt, you kind of get more consistent, you get a little better, and you get closer to that perfect run. But you're always getting something whenever you give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. And that's the strength of this game in general, is that it was built with accessibility in mind, because not everybody has the reaction times that we all did 20 years ago, or for some of us maybe even a little bit longer. And being able to pick up a game that kind of says to you, I want you to just do everything that you think you can in this game no matter what, is a really big deal. So there's various levels of difficulty. If you would like a harder challenge, there are difficulty levels where you do have to reset the screen, or you have to reset the stage every time you die. You're not allowed to use items within levels and things like that. We, however, for this category, are going to be abusing both of those things as we go.
It's a mechanic in the game, so we're taking advantage of it. So here, you can see this is normally a boss. You have to jump on it 3 times, which takes a lot of time. If you could hit the cycles perfectly to absolutely hit the frame that the boss comes out of its shoe again, you can save time, but if you miss even once, you're going to lose time on a cycle. So making that route earlier to pick up the item that Debeaunair picked up from World 1-2, I believe it was. That's basically like saying, okay, I'm not gonna try to gamble on hitting the perfect time, but I'm gonna get better than hitting the imperfect time. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I just didn't jump there. It
Yeah.
turns out if you do not press the jump button, the character will not jump. Who knew? But yeah, so we kind of for going from Kiri to Yuzu, there were a lot of situations where we had a strategy that felt, it is pretty fast when you have access to all of the sword abilities and things that Kiri gets, and we wanted to try to adapt that to the Yuzu route. So for instance, that little jump just to get over those spikes is far, far, far scarier for Yuzu, because she does not have a way to break those blocks and get to this Power Fox without having that costume equipped specifically. Kiri always has access to the Stomp, so she will always be able to get it no matter what. But if we mess up even a little bit with Yuzu, the route changes dramatically and we lose a lot of time just going through that area. So there's going to be rather than having a lot of tricks that require us to kind of place ourselves more precisely, like we would with Kiri with using SRCs or wall jumps or anything like that. With Yuzu, it's far more about how long can we hold on to this power, and if we do, what does that allow us to do? This stage is a great example of how potent slope jumping can be. We didn't quite carry it all the way to the end there, but it is definitely possible to do so, and obviously way faster than running that way. So going into 2-4 here, we're going to see this is a stage that is really cool for both characters. They both do the same trick, but there's two variants of that trick that get done. So for Kiri, because she only has 1 health, we get to get squished into walls in a specific way, and it kind of does everything we need it to for us. With Yuzu, however, she has 2 hearts, so as we mentioned earlier, trying to go upwards when you've only got when you have 2 health is a lot more difficult because you have to wait around a little longer for the clouds. So this is another feature of this difficulty, which is, the game doesn't want to soft block you if you get squished into a wall and put back with the cloud, so it kind of gives you no clip, and you're able to skip quite a lot of stuff. So for our purposes, that's really helpful in stages like this, where obviously the entire thing is based off of a global cycle and we need to get to the top as quickly as possible.
I'm seeing this route for the first time as the commentator. Normally on the Kiri route, we route to get squished on and clip into the right side of that platform. But here, as Yuzu, we're taking a different route and getting squished and clipping into the left side of the platform. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is specifically because Yuzu has to take 1 additional hit, and the amount of time that hit takes makes the first cycle unreachable. So the backup strategy, if you will, is to go up the left-hand side of that area with the last one that we got squished into, because Yuzu can use that skeleton to get 2 hits on the same side. We don't risk dealing with or otherwise removing the skeleton from the screen, so we don't have to really worry at all about potential issues there. This is what I was explaining earlier. So this is
nice.
Yes, this is a route that the line to get this slope jump is really, really specific. You need to be able to basically ride that entire slope on the left in one go, which is difficult, as you might imagine, for a character that can't wall jump her way up there by herself. So we use a really cool tool in the samurai costume there, to give ourselves just a little bit of a boost. When you use your spear on the wall, it kind of gets stuck there and turns into a platform. Oh, hello. Can you? Thank you. You've seen it once already, or a couple times already, I suppose, and we will be using it more. It's very, very good for getting Yuzu squished into the wall, because a lot of moving platforms are kind of up in the way, and being able to just kind of make a platform for ourselves so that we can stand on it. Pretty useful tech. So now we're going into 2-6. 2-6 here is a stage that oh nope, we're getting dogs first. So I guess yeah, you want to talk about the dogs?
Yep, so in each stage, similar to Mario 3 and their Hammer Brothers, we have our dog friends here, which they patrol around the overworld map, and normally we could save time if we get good dogs who come close to the player and let us fight them earlier in a level. Then we don't have to sit and wait for them to do their little doggy shuffle. But sometimes, you know, the dogs aren't cooperative, or they want to make it into a challenge run, and they'll be a bit more evasive. So they'll wait until like the end of the level, which means after each stage we have to wait for the doggy shuffle to stop. So this was, I think, medium good dogs. I mean, they're always good dogs, but these are, you know, kind of medium today.
Yeah, this is probably like average luck, I would say. Getting through 4 or 5 4 or 5 stages in total before getting a dogfight is probably splitting the middle. It's not ideal. Like, I mean, ideally we would want them like after screen 2 maybe. But that is it is something that we have to pay attention to. It's not a lot of time, but it's enough time to make a difference.
And they do drop items every time you fight them, and there's, I think, maybe one item that they drop in the carry route that's a big deal, but Yuzu's a lot more item economy based compared to Kiri's movement based. So I think in this route, do some of the items play into the economy routing?
So yes and no. Kiri, because only so many of her items are useful, gets more useful items from those drops than Yuzu does. Kiri gets rice balls and swim trunks, like flippers. Yuzu only ever gets shoes, which are not used in this category, and samurai costumes, which are used occasionally. So the big benefit of getting the shoes is for any percent, Yuzu can use those on the very last boss of the game to great effect. But in this category, there's not a ton of use for them, just by nature of the fact that like we are doing so many other things that are a little bit better. The boss fights are kind of the only place that they have real value. That boss fight specifically. So it's not. It doesn't play into it as much as it could for Yuzu percent specifically, but in any percent, it's a huge deal.
I think we have a possible good dog alert. Did you see that?
I did. I'm trying not to get my hopes up though. They can be a little temperamental.
Would you like me to explain this world's power?
I was just gonna ask you to. That would be lovely.
So the previous world, we had Yuzu had a little apple costume, which gave her a hat that lets her spin and break blocks. World 2 is the water world, so what we have here is the shark costume, and the shark costume works. It works similar to the frog suit in Mario 3, where it gives Yuzu a much better, faster, multi-directional swimming. But in addition to that, if she builds up key speed before running across water, she can run across the top of the water. And some of the platforms in these stages. You could access them if you have a running start, which you can't get if you're swimming. So some of the routing is you build up speed and you have your shark suit, and you can just run on the water and access new routes. It's
very helpful. And we're gonna actually lose a little bit of time here because my brain tried to do wall kicks, which Yuzu can't do. This 3-2 is a stage where these cycles are extremely important, and for Kiri, she does not care about that first jump. You can kind of just reach max speed and go, and you'll basically always make it. For Yuzu, though, we have to be a little more careful. We, as mentioned previously, we want to hold on to this costume for as long as we possibly can. So if there's even a slight possibility of us getting too close to enemies because of the time that we've taken so far on the level, we're gonna just wait that cycle to make sure we can have it for here, because 3-3 is a really big, long swimming level where there's not a ton of interesting tech happening. So this would actually be a lovely time if our host has anything they want to call out.
Of course, and definitely something I want to call out. We have a $250 donation from Juno. Just absolutely blown away by your generosity. Thank you so much. That is going to benefit Rainbow Railroad and has smashed our new goal of $800.85. So we'll have to come up with something else.
Ah,
Thank you,
so much,
Juno.
Juno.
Yeah.
You're a lovely human. We appreciate you.
We love you.
Yes, much love and trans rights.
Mm-hmm.
Trans rights.
Well, I mean, yeah, that kind of blows away all expectations that I had. So excellent stuff. So 3-3 is and then subsequently 3-4 are going to be levels where you see us swimming quite a lot, and we're going to be swimming in very specific ways. In that stage, we needed to get through the first screen because we needed to get through the first screen. But then the second screen, we were racing a ghost. That is the first of 2 ghost races that we will have throughout this run. This stage,
Would you like me to?
yeah, actually, let's go with that.
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay, so what this stage is each world has for the middle stage of each world is kind of a combination Boom Boom Fort and Ghost House. So this is the Ghost House for the water world, where we have to grab the lantern and carry it to the end of a room, because in this game there are invisible doors that lanterns can reveal, and lanterns also serve the purpose of making ghosts intangible. Ghosts will always follow you in this game. They don't like stop or become shy if you turn around and look at them. They will chase you until you enter light, and then they'll chill out. So we want to keep the lantern with us. This is the second room where we're going to descend into the very deep, tall room, and the lantern we need is all the way in the bottom, past all these fish and all these ghosts, and we want to avoid the ghosts on the way down, and we're going to want to avoid the fish on the way up. So now we recover the lantern, and the ghosts aren't as much of a problem, but we do have to remember that we're not fish-proof.
Yes, and this route we got close enough. This route that we're taking is the same route that we take with Kiri, except that Kiri can remove some of the nuisance creatures on the way up. So it's a lot tighter as far as routing for Yuzu goes. I'm gonna grab this just to make this a little easier. But yeah, unfortunately, not having a shark costume leaving this stage means that a couple of the next stages are going to be slower because, as mentioned, Yuzu does not get any backups from standard fights. So if we wanted to get a replacement for our shark costume, we would need to go all the way back to town, and we currently have a very tight coin route before we get into World 6. We need to be able to buy a very specific set of items, so we really can't spare anything just to make these early levels go a little bit faster, which is unfortunate, but it is not the end of the world. We do have an extra hit coming in here, so we're going to be able to skirt past a couple of difficult obstacles without going around them, which will be nice, but in general, this is a stage where you really, really want to have a shark suit if you can, or flippers if you're on the Kiri route.
Yeah, absent our shark suit, we do have the fish removal stick with the patented pointy end.
It's
That
true,
is,
yeah. The instructions
helpful.
the instructions for use are very simple. You point the pointy end at the fish you want to remove. It's super straightforward and nice. But yeah, you can see like these stages end up going quite a bit faster if you are a fish. Sadly, we are a fox, which means we have to take it a little bit slower, but not the end of the world.
You got a good doggy paddle going.
Indeed.
Would you say it's a foxy paddle?
Of course.
I think that's the better call.
Definitely. Bless you. Oh, so one of the things that I always forget to mention that I love about this category is we end up ending stages as small Yuzu quite a bit, which means we always get to be this little fox costume, or this little fox character. Every time you end a stage as the little fox character, they sneeze, and it's adorable, and I love it. And you don't really get to see it at all on the Kiri side of things. Only if we go extremely fast with a power fox and end up making it all the way there. So every time we clear a level like that, we will probably bless the fox because, I mean, they're so cute. How could you not? So the climb in this stage is very different from the Kiri climb because we do not have the uppercut, we do not have wall kicks. We are going to be taking our very specific path to die in very specific places to get us up as quickly as we can. It's going to still, it will end up being slower than the Kiri way in total, but that is a perfect example of like, this is why we want to use these clouds, because going through all those jumps and getting up all that way, so much slower and more difficult the other way. Ooh, that was nice.
Ooh, good double hit.
It's rare that happens. They're usually a lot ruder than that. But okay, so 3-7 chat. This is our Inari mandated hydration break. Once we get onto the second screen here, I would like to request that you all make sure that you have a drink. We're going to be playing the game probably as much as we're going to play the game throughout the rest of every other stage. You won't miss anything, I promise. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right, grab my drink.
Refreshing.
Stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Stay
Oh.
hydrated.
What a tough.
That was tough.
Whew.
Yeah, you just barely made it through that one.
Barely
but,
made it.
Fantastic line. Well
Thank
done.
you. Now this is the only boss in the Yuzu route that we're not going to fight with a power fox, and it is because we have the pointy stick, and we, as mentioned previously, we know how to use it. We point the pointy end towards the enemy that we want to remove, but that enemy does give us a power fox, which we will be using. We're now going to just be chaining them through the rest of the bosses of the run. So we're coming into World 4 here. Unfortunately, this is not a power that has a lot of value for the speed run. So we're not going to be picking it up, but it is adorable, and
very cute.
it's super cute. But the ice physics kind of work a little bit to our advantage here, for speedrunning purposes. So we're not too worried about things not going our way.
Avoiding a little bit of monkey business back there.
Mm-hmm. They're having a good time. I don't want to interrupt them, you know.
Just let them relax.
Yeah.
We're just passing through.
Yes. Okay, so for 2, this is another stage like 3-6, where the name of the game is going as high as we can, as quick as we can. So with Kiri, that means we get to do a lot of wall jumps, we get to do a lot of shoryukens, we get to do a lot of climbing in general. But with Yuzu, that means that we are going to be hugging a lot of bad guys. There are a wide variety of them that we can use in here for this goal, and ultimately we just want there's a couple of places that we're specifically going to be jumping and trying to tag enemies where we really want to make sure that this Pango, for instance, we could have touched him at any point on that slope, but when he is at the very tippy top, we can get all the way to this door. Oop, I didn't jump. We can, I promise. We can get all the way to that door without worrying about it, so.
Yeah, Yuzu has a big heart, so she's got a lot of love for all the creatures, and she kind of wants to hug each and every one of them.
It's true. The opposite to Kiri, who is adjacent to politeness oftentimes, and of course has a sword, which is a rough combination. Bless you.
Bless you. Bless you.
And now we're going to go into 4-3. Anybody that has watched Kiri knows what this level looks like. There is not much to be done here. We're just going to be taking this level as it appears before us. So this would be a fabulous time for other messages or shout outs if you have them.
Sure. Well, most of our incentives have been smashed already, but we do have one open for the upcoming Yakuza run. So it's just to choose the costume.
Ooh, what are the
There-
options for us?
Sure. So the karaoke song choice, my apologies, misread that. The karaoke options will be Pride from Despair by Goro Majima, Tonight by Kazuma Kiru, and As Long as You're Happy by Goro Majima. So, get your donations in if you want to vote on that. They all sound like exquisite choices anyway.
They're all bangers, yeah. Chat, if you have a favorite karaoke song that you want to see done, make sure that you get your donations in. We're already doing so well for this event, and we can do even better if we want to. So toss some stuff towards the Yakuza incentive.
Yeah.
I personally really like Tonight, so that's what I would put my money to. But you know, you don't have to listen to me. You can pick whatever you like.
Yeah, let us know what your favorite songs are.
Yes. So we're now in 4-4. This is a really cool ghost house. As you can see, I can't. The whole left-hand side of the screen is shrouded in darkness, and I have no way of seeing where I'm going without kind of just gauging Yuzu's distance based on the right-hand side of the screen. This particular screen I have affectionately dubbed the Skeleton Appreciation Zone, so everybody thank your skeletons. We literally could not do that screen quickly without skeletons. They're a huge help to us in this particular level, so we just want to make sure that they know that they're appreciated, you know. I guess we haven't.
I was gonna say that's a tight jump bait.
Yeah, I've gotten bolder, but having an extra hit definitely means that like it's a lot less punishing if I don't get it, as opposed to doing it with Kiri where you have to do the whole cloud situation. So we haven't really talked about those mini bosses at all yet, or at least their attacks. So they now have 2 attacks, and they will both try to stab us, and they will try to jump at us. The pattern is the same every time, so we have a method for each version of it. But we do mess with a little bit of time saving there. We can kind of manipulate the AI, which lets us, depending on which side of the room we are on, which half, when they try to jump backwards, they will always try to jump back to the side that you are further away from. So basically we want to be on the side that they are further away from, so they have a shorter jump. It doesn't save a ton of time, but it is enough that and easy enough that we just go for it. I'm gonna take a little damage boost here to go in this pipe. We don't really need this particular item very much, but we grab it anyway just in case. Going through the underground there is just a little bit faster than the overworld. And we actually do that on both foxes. The downside to that, though, any of these bang blocks that we open with Yuzu are then already opened for Kiri. So we have to be pretty careful about which ones we open, because if there are any that we want to specifically have access to for the second half of the game in an any percent run, we need to make sure that we don't open them. For just Yuzu percent, there's not a huge distinction there. We can kind of just do whatever we want. But, you know. All right.
To explain what's happening here.
If you wouldn't mind.
All right, so here we have a ghost who's challenged us to a race. They said, 1-on-1, me and you, let's go. So we said, sure, okay, let's make it a fair race. We are, as either orange fox or purple fox, we are corporeal creatures who are bound by the laws of physics, and the ghost is translucent and can pass through any object. GG's. So what we've done there is squished ourselves in the wall to no clip out of bounds and become incorporeal ourselves to even the odds, make it a fair race, and just fly ahead of the auto-scroller.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually more fair this way than originally.
Yes, 100%. It's one of the coolest little tricks that we figured out in this game so far. Being able to beat an auto scroller is something that I never thought I'd be able to put on my resume, but I can, and it's very, very fun. This is your standard power-up chaining level. We're basically going to be using these power foxes from here until the end, and we're going to be taking care to use our very wide horizontal boost to give us as much distance as we can, and easy as that. Easy done. Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
And now we're going into the boss of this stage. You're going to see slightly more of this fight than you would in the Kiri route for it, but you're still not going to see all of the mechanics. So if you want to see how this boss is supposed to be done casually, you'll just have to pick up the game and play it yourself. What a shame, I know. But that is World 4 done.
Ah, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So we're in the World 5 now. This is the air world. We're going to be introduced to the special power-up for this stage very shortly here. But you'll notice that we are going to be doing something very similar to the Kiri route right away. We're going to be giving this fine Tengu fellow here a hug, and then using the Death Cloud to kind of get us to where we need to go. Because Kiri has access to in-air movement abilities, she can take that a little bit differently, and can it's a slightly faster for her because of that. But Yuzu cannot go vertical again in her default form, so we have to take a slightly adjusted route to get up there quickly. But once we are, we're basically good to go. And now we have the bird suit. If you want to let the people know about what this does, Rally, that would be fabulous.
I'd love to. So when Yuzu is wearing her bird pajamas, she has access to a double jump. She can air jump as long as she hits anything in the air, similar to Kiri's refresh ability. She gets her double jump back, but also she can hold her wings out and she could float to kind of slow her descent. So having a double jump and a slower descent while retaining forward move speed means that she has as close to Kiri's sword flying as is possible without actually being Kiri. And I do gotta say though that the bird suit's really cute.
Yeah,
it is probably one of the favorite suits.
It's extremely
really cool to
powerful.
see.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Oh no.
We're gonna have to just pick up the one at the halfway point. So ideally, we get out of 5-1 with the bird costume that we pick up there, because that lets us get through the first half of 5-2 here. And we save about 8 seconds because that initial section, there is nothing we can do to make that jump easier for us, except for wait specifically for cranes, and the cranes take a little while to come on screen. So ideally what we do is we have this bird suit and then we just kind of carry all of those jumps and refreshes and things through the level. So we lost a little bit of time there because we died in the middle, but not the end of the world. We have one now, which is going to be important in a little bit. Thank you, Monty. We appreciate you for the clouds. This is the second time we visited Monty, and also the second time that we cheated at his minigame. So you may recognize that minigame specifically as the Monty Hall problem. You may also, if you are familiar with how that works, know that we did it correctly. But we didn't do it correctly because the math is on our side. We did it correctly because we already know where the prizes are. And that's always the missing piece of information in that game, is that the host knows where the prize is and will always show you a door where it isn't. So it's mathematically in your favor to always go the other way. In our case, though, do you recall at the very beginning of this run when we set all those numbers to 1? That kind of creates a cache, a seed, if you will, for the mini games and where everything is. So as long as everything is set to 1 there at all times, we will always be able to guarantee get clouds when we need them from exactly those locations. So we will always pick the left door, and they will both always be in the center with Yuzu. With Kiri, we will always pick the left door, and the first one will be in the same door, and the second one we will swap for. So that is consistent for everything. It just makes our life easy because of stages like this. It's a really cool stage casually, but it is extremely slow if you are not using our methods, which in this case are specifically just cheating, I suppose. We have information we should not have, yeah, it's very nice for us.
I think it's not so much cheating as just creative knowledge acquisition.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'll accept these terms. So now we're in 5-4. Having a wingsuit or an extra hit here kind of doesn't matter because this is a vertical room. As soon as we get out of that first screen, we're going to be hopping our way up these blocks. Our goal here is to get as high as possible before we give another ghost a hug. Once we have given the ghost hugs, we can just get to the door and we're home free. But if we fall at all in that stage, Yuzu has a really difficult time regaining that lost height. Kiri, again, has access to a lot of movement tools that kind of mitigate falling like that. But Yuzu, not so much. So it's extra important that we really hit all of the strategies that we're going for in these stages.
He just tried to walk up on you today.
Mm-hmm. The World 5 one specifically is really, really cheeky when it comes to that second jump. So 5-5 is normally where the run really picks up steam with Kiri. But for Yuzu, it's kind of this is going to be the like one of the last normal stages before we reach. I'm not. We're going to be turning Rainbow a lot for the last world in this run. There's going to be a lot of Power Fox usage because there's lava, and lava is difficult to get around. And we don't really want to deal with the lava if we don't have to. So
Yep. It kills you in one hit, even if you have 2 or 3 hits to spare.
yeah, it's not fun. Oh, all right. Well, that's okay. We're going back to. Well, this is going to be also after. Can you? Hello?
Sir? Hello?
Hold on. I need a clip of that. What happened to him?
Where did he go?
I genuinely do not know. I have never seen that happen before. Okay, well, this is the town. We really like the town. The town is very cool. And now we're leaving. Montgomery, our boy, has a nifty little shop in town that sells you basically any of the power-ups that you have already unlocked. In our case, we bought a specific. We have a very specific set of items that we want to buy. We're buying a shark suit for 5-6. We bought a bird costume for 6-3, and we bought as many power foxes as our wallet would let us afford, which in this case is usually 4. Obviously, you know, if we had taken a little bit of extra time, we probably could have gotten it to be a little bit more than that, but 4 is plenty. We still have one from the last boss. So this is going to get us basically where we need to go. I'm going to just try to hold on to this. Yeah. So yeah, we now have all of the items that we need for the rest of the game. And we're going to just try to get through the rest of the levels as quick as we can. So 5-7 is going to be the last level that looks similar for Yuzu to the Kiri route. We're going to use our second cloud, and we're going to fly all the way to the top, as you do.
Normally, Kiri can chain a lot of vertical attacks and refresher attacks and move very vertically. Yuzu is bound by the cruel laws of gravity, so she is going to take advantage of her cloud and just, you know, ascend at a leisurely pace.
Yeah, it's also extra important that we take some of the riskier lines through this level even more carefully than we do with Kiri, because if Yuzu loses the cloud for any reason prior to getting to the very top, we have to manually do the rest of this level. We do not want to manually do the rest of this level.
I was going to ask if we're doing the normal fight.
Yeah.
We do get to see him now.
Yes,
it's a world premiere.
He does show up. You still don't really. I guess this boss is kind of one of the bosses that you can get a much more reasonable image of what their actual strategies should be from the Yuzu route. But yeah, he actually does do attacks at us in this category. It's still not exactly the full fight, because the full fight is just going to be slower. That's just the way that it be. But yeah, it's a little sneak peek into the cool stuff that happens in this game when you don't have a sword.
Yep, in the Kiri route, he gives us a couple apples and then vanishes, but here he follows the apples and sticks around. And yeah, here you can see, now we're in World 6, and there's lava everywhere, and lava is very dangerous. You know, under normal circumstances, it's advised not to touch lava, not to handle lava. You know, no matter how, like, interesting or neat or bright it looks, you generally don't want to make contact with it. So we have our air dashing invincible power fox form, which we're going to use to either get around the lava, or if we need to, dip our little fox toes in for just a brief little second. Uh-oh. That happens.
Yeah, I didn't really want to be down there, but we're just gonna leave it be for now.
Well,
it is possible to one cycle this with Yuzu. It's obviously a lot more difficult than doing it with Kiri, but you know. So 6-3 is obviously 6-1 and 6-2 don't really look at all like how Kiri does them. 6-3 is no exception. We do not have access to SRC, so it is very difficult for us to get up to this area without using a cloud. And so that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use a cloud to hop up there, and then we're going to use this bird suit. Reason being, there is even though this water is a little bit slow, and you could argue that maybe it's worth picking up a shark suit for, the real culprit, the real problem of this run or of this area. Okay, well, I guess we're falling. Which means we're gonna have to do a backup. The real culprit of this area is this section, and that's why if you fall, you just kind of lose everything. Oh, that beetle was really rude. That beetle was so rude. And coming in here, we would need to step on that platform above us to have it start moving, and then time a jump off of this platform to land on that platform to get up here. Having the bird suit lets us just do a double jump, and that ends up being really, really easy. But not having the wingsuit means we have to do it a little bit differently than we otherwise would. I'm just gonna hold on to this to deal with them.
Yeah, we've got one good dog this run.
Yeah, a lot of average dogs, a lot of good ones, or one good one. Ideally, we would have more than just the one. So now we're going into 6-4. So the reason that we want to use that wing power up at the end of 6-3 is that if we have it in 6-4, Yuzu can take a route that Kiri cannot take. Okay, well, we were a little bit slow there, but that's okay, because now we get to do this. There is a route in here that Yuzu can take that Kiri can't, and it involves jumping from this on top of that second box and basically skipping that cycle. Kiri can sort of do it, but not to the same ease that Yuzu can. So getting squished there was actually kind of a blessing in disguise. We got to skip a couple of tricky jumps, I would say. And we were able to get through that door as early as possible without the wingsuit, so that ends up being really nice. Even if we hadn't died there, we would have needed to wait for the cycle. Are you serious, sir?
Normally, in Kiri's route, Kiri would just jump up and get rid of the soldier's friend up here, the little kitty cat. But Yuzu gets to enjoy the company of the cat throughout the duration of the fight.
Yeah, it's not quite as easy for Yuzu to get to deal with that as it is for everybody else. So she's got to put up with it a little bit. So 6-5, this was the strategy that we used to do with Kiri prior to learning about SRCs, was doing this big slope jump right away in the beginning, and then just seeing how far we could take it. Obviously, being able to move quickly through here is paramount. The cycles aren't super unforgiving or anything. It is just, kind of a slog to get through all this lava without really being able to have a say in how that goes for you. So now that we have made it past that halfway point, we're gonna do what we can to get through these bugs.
And just enough.
Yes. So yeah, the tail of the tape for Yuzu World 6, bless you, is Power Fox usage. We want to specifically go into 6-6 with 1 health because it lets us damage boost, a death boost off of this skull instead of going up there and waiting for the second one. So that's a little handy. And we are also going to be using our last samurai suit for the run to give ourselves a little platform there, just so that we didn't have to walk all the way to the side and press a button. We should still be okay. Do one of these. This power up is so cool, by the way. I know I've told you specifically, Rally, that I really like this power up, but it is one of my favorite power ups in the game. I absolutely love being able to make my own platformer. Well, that wasn't the pit of lava that I was expecting to die in, but it does the job.
Well, a pot buster's a pot buster,
Yeah,
You just
totally.
gotta-
Okay, so there is 1 level and 1 boss left until this run is over, chat room. So we're going to be showing you a quick secret in 6-7 here. I've been told that that's funny, but I don't know why. I'm old. This stage is really neat. The way that you would generally get through it is by kind of riding a little boat all the way to the end. In our case, though, we're going to be showing off something sneaky instead. Oh, you know, I really wanted to do it with the...
with the other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys you know, just kind of pay attention, you know, you just keep it between us, you know.
Whew.
Oh wow! Oh, amazing
Yeah.
job with the platforming.
Thank you. It's such a difficult stage. I just bless you. It's really important that we get through that one nicely. Okay, and this is the final boss of the game, chat room. This is going to be like 20 seconds or so. Time will be the first frame of black screen at the end of it. This is a boss that is different than the rest of the bosses in this game because you fight the army and the boss is kind of getting through everything. What they didn't account for, though, was gay fox girl powers, which we happen to have. And time. GG's, everybody. That was Yuzu percent. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's a very cool alternative category to what I normally play in this game, being Curie percent. But all of Kitsune Tales is super neat. I definitely recommend y'all picking it up and giving it a shot yourself. And the one thing that this run does not have, so we're gonna have to say it anyway, but this run doesn't have it. The end of the game cutscene that we normally use to validate Curie percent runs is sadly not in this run. So we can't watch the Let's Go Lesbians, but chat room, I know that we can spam Let's Go Lesbians. So Let's Go Lesbians. I have been Debeaunair VT. Raleigh, do you have any shout outs you'd like to toss out there before we call it a day on this one?
Just like to thank the staff here and the showrunners for having us on. It's been a a great pleasure to join you as well. And just I'd like to just say for we're raising money for the trans community out here. I just want to give a shout out to all the trans viewers out there. Trans rights are human rights and they're worth fighting for. So we're all in this together, and just want to give you all a shout out. Thank you for joining us.
Heck yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Huge ups to Tech and to everybody organizing this event. Obviously it's a huge issue, and I'm really excited that we get to be a part of raising money for such an important cause. As far as I go, I stream this game and a couple of other goofy little side-scrolling 2D platformers here on Twitch, over on Debeaunair VT. It's spelled exactly how you see it on the screen. And I'm also over on Blue Sky as well, if you'd like to occasionally get jump scared by bunny pictures and or would like to keep up to date on when things are happening. So I do not know when I will see you all again, chat, but I do know that I will. And until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and love one another. Have a great rest of the marathon.